Hello friends, this video on P-Rock Elements Part 20 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let's talk about some of the uses of carbon. See, carbon is fiber is embedded with plastic materials to improve the strength. You see the tennis racket, these fibers are the plastic fiber, but you embed the carbon in this to give it strength to it. And that's what it's required, right? Because if it is very weak, with one shot it will break. You want this to be strong. Right? So carbon is used here in this, right? In the tennis racket, also it is used in the aircrafts, it is used in the fishing rods. It is also used, the carbon in the form of graphite is used in the batteries. And also it is used for electrolysis in the industry. It is also used to make crucibles, as I told, right? Graphite is has very high melting point. It is resistant to heat. So it is used in crucibles. Also, it is inert to dilute acids and alkalis. The told carbon doesn't react with alkali and acids, so it is used as crucibles, right? Since it is highly porous, the charcoal is used in absorbing poisonous gas. So if there's some poisonous gas somewhere, the charcoal is used to absorb that gas, and also it is used in water filters, right? And it's also used to in air conditioner. Actually, you can see the AC, right? They use the charcoal there because it can control the bad smell. The carbon black is used in the ink. It is also used in the ink. It is also used in the tires actually. The coke is also used in the metallurgy a lot used coke as a reducing agent because very cheap, and in the industry you want to produce things cheaper rate. Coke is very cheaply available, so it is used as reducing agent in the metallurgy industry a lot. Diamond, if you see, it has shine, it is precious stone. It is used in jewelry a lot. 1 carat is nothing but 200 milligrams. So these are the use of carbon. In fact, there are more uses of carbon which we'll discuss in hydrocarbon chapter. So there are two compounds of carbon actually we'll discuss. One is the carbon dioxide, the other is the carbon monoxide. So let's start with the carbon monoxide here. So carbon monoxide is nothing but a colorless, odorless, water insoluble gas. It's gas which is almost colorless, odorless and insoluble. So if you see, right, carbon monoxide is CO. It doesn't form any complex structure, right? You can see the structure, and that's why it's gas. So the moment you think of gas, you can think of the structure, right? That's why you have to think. Every time you think of a compound, you think why it is gas, why it has high melting point, why it has high ionization energy, right? So if you think of carbon monoxide, you see the structure is pretty simple. So it is gas. Correct? It is a very strong reducing agent. Why? Because air, if you see, the carbon has the oxidation state of +2 in carbon monoxide. Carbon always want to have oxidation state of +4 because it's more stable. So carbon will always oxidize to +4. It will oxidize itself and it will reduce others. So it acts as a very strong reducing agent. Correct? Because carbon monoxide, carbon has oxidation state of +2, which is not very stable. Carbon wants to be in +4 oxidation state, so it always goes to +4 and becomes oxidized, and thus it has a good reduced agent. So it reduces almost all the metal oxides other than alkali and alkaline earth metal because they are more powerful reducing agents actually. So it's like a comparison of sodium and what do you call carbon. So carbon plus. So if you see sodium, if you compare sodium, so sodium has more tendency to become Na plus than carbon 2 to become carbon 4. So C2 becomes C4. Let me write it clearly. Sodium becomes Na plus and carbon plus 2 becomes C plus 4. This tendency is all the more. So sodium is a more stronger reducing agent than carbon. So you can't reduce sodium with carbon, right? Because the sodium is more stronger reducing agent, right? And also some of the alkaline earth metal, for example, aluminum. Aluminum is also has a higher tendency to form from Al to Al plus 3 than the tendency of carbon to form Ca plus 4 from Ca plus 2. So it can reduce most, and it is widely used. Why? Because it is very cheaply available, but they are stronger reducing agent than carbon, but they are costly. So in the industry, generally use carbon monoxide. We don't use sodium or aluminum. Why? Because it's very costly, but this is very cheap, right? So this is also used for extraction of many metal from the ores. For example, in this case, right, carbon monoxide is used to oxidize. Reduce this. So if in this case, if this oxidation state is +3, here it is 0. So it got reduced. And if Fe2C3 is the ore of iron, from this we got iron. From here also if you see zinc, was +2, it became 0, it got reduced, right, using carbon monoxide, and you got zinc. So using this reducing property of carbon monoxide, it is also used for attraction of many metals from there also. Because as I told, right, these metals are, most of the metals are a little reactive and they exist in the oxide form. This we have discussed when we discussed about the metals, right? And these metals has to be reduced to the metal form, and the good and cheap reducing agent is carbon monoxide, right? And please note, carbon monoxide is highly poisonous. Carbon monoxide as such is not poisonous. It's a very simple compound actually. It can do much, it can't do much, but it is highly poisonous. Why? Because it has the ability to form complex compound with hemoglobin. Correct? So if you see the carbon monoxide structure as such, it's very simple, right? So it's a very simple gas, only carbon and oxygen, that's all. But it is very poisonous. Why? Because when it combines with hemoglobin, it forms a very complex compound. So the question is, why carbon monoxide is complex? It's very simple. It looks very simple, right? Still, it's very dangerous. It is because of this. When it mixes with hemoglobin, it forms a very complex compound. Correct? This is when a good example can be, for example, you have one spy, and the spy looks very cute, very small boy maybe. He's a spy in your gang. This guy looks very innocent. But if this guy pass the information to, let's suppose, other group, it may break your group, right? Same thing. Carbon monoxide looks very small and cute, right? Very simple. But when it combines with hemoglobin, it forms very dangerous compound. That's why it's harmful. And if you see the carbon monoxide structure, it has 1 sigma and 2 pi bond. That's what the structure is, right? 1 sigma and 2 pi. 1 sigma is the first bond, and another 2 bond is the 2 pi bonds. And it has also lone pairs, right? It has lone pair, both carbon and oxygen. Now with this, it acts as a donor of lone pair, and thus it reacts with certain metals, and it forms metal carbonyls. See, the reaction can be taken, right? For example, nickel, when reacts with carbon monoxide, you heat this 335 Kelvin, you get nickel tetracarbonyl, CO. Iron also, you heat with carbon monoxide, you get pentacarbonyl iron. Correct? So if you heat this carbon monoxide with metals, because of the lone pairs, it forms carbonyls. Correct? So we have seen a lot of usage of carbon monoxide in the industry. The question is how to prepare it, because it is useful, so let's prepare it, right? So the first option is, you have this carbon, you heat with a limited supply of oxygen, it gives you carbon monoxide. Very simple process. It can also be prepared by dehydration of formic acid, and this gives a pure carbon monoxide. If you want real pure carbon monoxide, you can have this formic acid, you can just dehydrate this with the sulfuric acid, and you get carbon monoxide at 373 Kelvin. Or on the commercial scale, since this is costly, what you can do is, you can have this coke, hot coke, you pass this with the steam, right? You have this coke, you pass with the steam, and then you get CO and H2. This is water gas or syngas. We discussed about this in the last chapter, water gas or syngas. This is also used to prepare carbon monoxide, right? So instead of this, if you use air, then you have to use nitrogen also, right? There also you get carbon monoxide and nitrogen gas. This is called producer gas. This mixture is called producer gas. So there are various ways to prepare carbon monoxide. Let's talk about the next compound called carbon dioxide. Let's talk about another carbon compound, carbon dioxide. It is also colorless and odorless gas, similar to carbon monoxide. This has very low solubility in water, and this is used in biochemical and geochemical importance because it's low solubility in water. And this water, it forms carbonic acid. It's a very weak dibasic acid. Since it is acidic in nature, it combines with alkaline to form metal carbonates. For example, if you see, when you react carbon dioxide with water, what you get is H2CO3. Correct? So this is what it gives, metal carbonates. And this is not poisonous, it is pretty okay. And this increase in carbon dioxide level may lead to increase in greenhouse effect, which you must be listening in the radio or newspapers or TV channels, saying that the temperature of the earth is increasing because of the increase in carbon dioxide, because we have a lot of factories and we are cutting down trees. The carbon dioxide level is increasing, and carbon dioxide traps sunlight and increases the heat, right? So with that, the temperature of the whole earth is increasing, and it's a very serious issue, because the glacier will melt, and the glacier melts, all this coastal region will be in water. So it's a very serious issue, and that's why everybody is trying to decrease the concentration of carbon dioxide by planting more trees and taking all the Go Green initiatives, right? And if you see in carbon dioxide, the carbon goes through sp hybridization. So if you see the shape of this, right? So you have something like this. This is the shape, and this is a hybridized shape of this. Sorry, the resonance shape of carbon dioxide. It exists in three resonance structure. This is the resonance structure of carbon dioxide. Let's talk about the preparation of carbon dioxide, since it is critical. Let's talk about the preparation. It can easily be prepared by burning carbon with excess oxygen. Please note, it has to be excess. So carbon plus excess air will give you carbon dioxide, or you have the methane also. You heat in excess oxygen, it will give you carbon dioxide. In the lab, you can take calcium carbonate and react with hydrochloric acid. You will get pure carbon dioxide. But on the commercial scale, it is prepared by heating limestone. This is calcium carbonate. You heat it, you get carbon dioxide. Let's talk about the uses of carbon dioxide. The first is, it is used in the photosynthesis by plant, and the plant use this to prepare their food. If you see, this is carbon dioxide, this is chlorophyll. In the presence of sunlight, plant prepares food. It is used as a dry ice in the refrigerator. If you see in the refrigerator, we have something called dry ice, which is something which is a critical component for refrigerator, and there we use carbon dioxide. It is used in all the soft drinks. In soft drinks, you see the bubbles here, right? We talked about this in the equilibrium chapter. We talked that there is carbon dioxide that is mixed to this liquid or coke, and that's why you see this bubbles in soft drinks, right? So in soft drink also, carbon dioxide is used. It is used as a fire extinguisher also a lot, and it is used in the preparation of urea. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.